I haven't made a YouTube video in forever, and of course the day that I have the motivation to actually film one, the airbase near my house decided they're going to be flying planes all day long. So I'm sorry if at any point you hear that background noise, but I am here and today we're going to get some stuff done. I don't really have much planned. I just want to crochet, really. It's annoying, I'm sure you hear it. Anyway, a couple of months ago I bought a Fyber Ring, which is made with resin or something. I measured it twice to be sure that I got the right size, but I think it's still too big. I tried to come up with some ideas and I think I found a solution. I added some Mod Podge to like the middle part of the ring, just like a couple of layers. That way it fits where it actually needs to be on my finger. Helps with like yarn burn and stuff like that. It had to be shipped from Canada and I waited like several months, and then it took so long to ship because the Canada postal strikes. But like I quite like using it, you know, it does what it's supposed to do. Every now and then I get like a ick depending on what type of yarn I'm using. It doesn't really happen with chenille, but more so with acrylics. And you know, when I'm trying to get a lot of the cat hats done, it gets too much and then I can't make stuff, which is a problem. One thing I've been making a lot of is actually a different type of cat hat. I've been making cat ear beanies because I saw a tutorial and quite liked it. And then one of my friends who was diagnosed with cancer at the end of last year, I don't actually know if he requested me make one or if I offered, but I was like, oh, I'll make you a beanie. He chose red and black as the colours, so here it is. Just looks like a square, but when you wear it, these look like cat ears. And then I just made a whole bunch of these. I've got a brown and this beige colour, a green and black, which is kind of giving like Lando Norris or like Shigo from Kim Possible vibes, black and purple, which I think looks really cool, and then this sort of golden yellow colour, which I just did plain. Bit of a Cheshire Cat vibe from this pink and purple one. And lastly, I like blue and purple together. Please hold. It's in my brand logo and obviously my hair is dyed blue and purple, so I made this one. And I'll be honest, I want to keep several of these for myself, but I can't because if I do that, it's not great for profits. So yeah, I think I said in a recent live stream that for most people they're not going to be interested in beanies at the moment because it's still summer in Australia. But I've got these prepped ready for the colder weather, or if you are bald because of cancer treatments, you can buy a beanie, look kind of cute, feel kind of cute. That's all the beanies I've finished so far. As you saw, I was working a little bit on this one, and I think I'm gonna match this with this green colour. It's not sage, I wish it was, but there is no sage in this yarn, so that's the closest I can get because I feel like that would be a fairly popular colour combination. And then I started this one last night. I just think it goes well together, the colours, and kind of gives like Avatar The Last Airbender vibes. In particular the airbenders and the monks and stuff. Another thing I've been making a lot of has been bandanas, specifically for dogs, although they're big enough that you can use them as human bandanas as well, like for your hair. But I went to my brother's house to pet sit his dogs for a couple of days. He was saying how he wanted a bandana for his dog, and so I made him one. I'll try and put photos in here. I then babushka'd his other dog with it as well, but I was like, oh my god, it looks so cute, I have to make more. And so I did, and I just didn't stop, and I have made so many bandanas since then. Couldn't be bothered grabbing them out of the bag. Another plane. I also want to show some of the other projects that I've started and want to finish, and my plans for the next sort of week or 2 weeks. My next market is we're at the end of February. It's March 6th at the vegan markets. It is what? I don't have my watch on. What day is it? It's Thursday the 26th of February. So we've got some time to prep. I already have quite a few things and I've got quite a few plushies. Like, it's nice. I feel like I've got a decent amount of stock. Since the beginning of the year, there's not as many markets happening, so I can't even apply to any if I wanted to, and it's given me some time to just like have a breather, catch up, get some stuff done that I've been ignoring, and now I feel like I can just really get into the groove of things. Especially like one of the things I want to get back into is YouTube videos. With all of the old footage I had, I was planning on editing it and uploading it, but if I'm honest, I get sad because I see my cat in the background that passed away last year, and it just makes me kind of upset. I don't think I'll be editing those videos, maybe ever, but it's kind of freeing in a way because I feel like it was holding me back, feeling like I wanted to get all of those videos out first, where it's like, I just need to give up. I need to quit and start again. And so even though I've been doing a lot of things these last couple of months, I haven't really documented it. Oh well. Anyway, I'll check back in soon because I can tell there's another plane about to fly over. Okay, I'm up to the green now. By the way, if you are in Australia and you'd be interested in one of these beanies, I do have them up on my Etsy right now. I have been trying to put a little bit more effort into my Etsy because I just feel like it's easier to manage my stock when I'm doing markets, because if I have this stuff on my website, it gets like too confusing for me, because I have to either have two separate listings for the same item and then keep those inventories tracked properly, or I can have it under one listing, but then I need to title it in a way that's like suitable for the website. I actually don't know what's going on today for there to be so many planes. But yeah, the thing is, I like to have things labeled in a certain way for when I'm doing markets, because usually people go to a store and someone will scan the barcode and then it's immediately ready to be paid for. But like I have to search or type in and like find the right color, and it can easily become like a bit of a jarring process if I'm not being efficient about it, and then the customer is there like with their card just being like, is it ready? Have you put it through yet? Is it ready? Especially if they're ordering like more than one thing. And so I just find having it on Etsy is just like makes that a little bit easier to separate my online store from my market items, even though there are some downsides to Etsy. Personally, I think like it's not so much the fees when someone buys something that bothers me, it's the fees just to list something. Also, I suppose like the fees that they put on the shipping so that people don't try and get around the fees that way. I don't know, it's just really annoying. Obviously, like what you pay for is that reach that you wouldn't have otherwise, but my last order that I packaged and sent out on Monday, which actually got delivered yesterday, which is really good, really quick, they used the share and save link, so it's actually someone that I sent to Etsy. Well, what can you do? But I also think it's, you know, a trustworthy platform, and maybe people would buy from Etsy and they wouldn't have particularly bought from my website. This year I might look into updating my website so I have like a custom domain and stuff like that and make it all fancy. I also just use like a free version for my website, so there's no ability for people to leave reviews and stuff like that, and I also like that about Etsy. We're going to figure some things out this year. I'm going to sit down with my business advisor, which I finally have, and work on just like, you know, from an outsider opinion in a professional sense, like what their advice for me would be. Speaking of business advisors, I finally finished my business plan and I am going to be doing the small business coaching. There was a bit of a delay because when I finished the course that I was doing, the teacher, I messaged and I was like, hey, can I have an extension? And then I just never heard back. And then 3 months later, I got an email from somebody else being like, oh, so like the teacher resigned. Okay. Kind of worked for me because I was behind on finishing the assessments on time anyway. It all works out in the end. And so that's a bit of a relief that I don't have to do that anymore, because it also stopped me from filming. Other people with ADHD probably get this, but when you have a deadline or something that you have to do, it just makes it so much more impossible to actually like sit down and enjoy something that is not that thing. You feel like the entire time like you'll be sitting and crocheting and you'll just think, I have to do my business plan, I have to finish that, I have to submit this, and blah 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 blah. So I just like struggled to do anything else, but I also wasn't doing the business plan, and so I was just like stuck in this like freeze state. But I'm free now. Finally. I've been catching up on all of the seasons of Drive to Survive on Netflix that I haven't seen because I'd only seen like 1 or 2 seasons, to be honest. I'm just about to finish season 4. I don't know, I might not keep watching it because I like to have something to watch when the actual races aren't happening. So like during the summer break and the weekends where there's no race, stuff like that. It just gives me something Formula One related to watch. The Australian race is going to be happening very, very soon. It's going to creep up before we know it. I think I've got the market on that weekend. So I'll have the market and then I'm going to go and watch the race at my brother's house since it's on at a normal time for Australians. For once, I can watch it with my family. I think the next day I've got my car service. On the Wednesday after that, it'll be my mum's birthday. And the week before that, I'm hanging out with my mum just to have like a little craft day, because why not? So I've ordered some polymer clay and we're just going to hang out and make some trinkets and stuff and just have some fun. One of the projects that I have picked back up, which some of you might remember from, I think it was my first ever YouTube video that I posted, I was working on this shawl just because, and I don't know, my mum really likes pink, and so I feel like if I can get this done, it would make a nice birthday present. Since I don't really have money, so I can't buy gifts, I can make one, and it means more anyway, because it took me so long. This is really thin yarn, but it's really pretty, and this is the rest of the skein, so it's gonna go out to this like deep pink. I think I'm on row 38 or 39. I've got my little counter bop it fidget thing keeping track. The pattern just kind of says go until row 55, but I think I'm just going to go until the skein runs out. If that happens to be around 55 or thereabouts, that'll be good. Just like I'm not going to use this yarn for anything else if I don't use the whole thing, so may as well just go until it runs out. My mum's birthday is less than 2 weeks away, so I'm going to have to work on this quite a bit to get it done, and that's on top of doing market stock. Again, as I said, I do have quite a bit of stock, so it's not like drastic if I don't get more made. One thing I do need to make is more chickens. I've got all the bodies, I don't know, last market I couldn't have been bothered to finish them and have them, and so I have so many that I just need to finish up. The other thing that I have been working on, it doesn't even fit in the frame, the twisted toadstool. Thing is, I think my tension was too tight, because now that I'm working on the brim, it is like ruffling a bit. It's meant to just go flat and straight out. I don't mind it so much because I think it works with the whole vibe, but I think it would be interesting to remake it and try and loosen my tension, because for some reason I thought my tension would have to be really tight, but she only suggests that for sort of this part, so I don't know, I might have done some overkill on like the base, because it fits on my head but it's quite tight, and then you still got to put in all the ruffly bits. I think it like goes up to here, so it might be fine, and maybe this is exactly how tight it's meant to be. Like I checked my gauge and my gauge matches, so that's kind of what I don't understand. I think it's like just slightly too small. It could also be just the slight difference in the yarn thickness, because I'm not using the suggested yarn because we just don't have it. It's one of the sort of issues with making things that are designed by American pattern designers, is that they have access to yarn that is not really available in Australia. We have to substitute, and sometimes it's not the same. For those of you who also remember a really old project that I was working on forever ago, this I actually frogged out of the original, what's her other one? The bleeding tooth mushroom hat. This is how far I got, and then I ran out of yarn, right? So I attached 2 new skeins, but the dye lot is different, and it was super noticeable. Like there was just like this harsh line where it goes from this deep red to sort of a bit of a less saturated red. And then I like almost finished it, and I just thought, you know what, I just don't like it. And it's also meant to have a bit of velvet yarn. It's meant to be like 1 strand of this, 1 strand of velvet yarn, and I just did 2 strands of this, and I just was like, you know what, let's just frog it and reuse it for something that doesn't require velvet yarn and is meant to be 2-stranded. And so I worked on this. I think like just this alone took me a week of working on. Like I did this part in one session, and then this in another session, and then this in another session. It makes me kind of scared, because if I want to sell it, which I probably should, it's just going to be quite an expensive piece, which it should be, because like it's going to be absolutely fucking stunning when I finish it. Making expensive things when the economy is the way it is scary, But I also have to remember that, like, not everyone is struggling. Some people are doing really well, just not me. But yeah, this has been a really fun one to work on. Admittedly, I probably shouldn't have been working on it because I actually did need to do some market prepping whenever I was doing that. I just followed the dopamine, to be honest. By the way, I realize I've been saying airbase, but I don't live near an airport. It's a military airbase, so I always get a little bit concerned when there's like so many flying on the same day, because like they're always flying, but I don't know, some days it's just a lot. Anyway, I've been watching a lot of war documentaries and movies again because I basically let myself get really overwhelmed by it and then I take a break and then I get back into it. So I watched Hacksaw Ridge, which I suppose I went into not really knowing anything about it. I cried a lot. Andrew Garfield did an amazing job. I feel like it's not exactly the best title for the type of movie that it is, because I would have watched it way earlier if I actually knew what it was about. I'm currently watching All Quiet on the Western Front, the new one, most recent one. I don't know, I had to take a break from that one last night, and I think it was just because I was like, it's 10 p.m, I should probably go to bed. I'm getting like the nighttime upsets, and watching something like that doesn't exactly help. I mean, I say 10 p.m, I've been waking up really early lately, so I had been awake for quite a long time at that point, and I feel like your brain just starts being like, let's think awful things, and you're just like, hey, like, do you need a nap? Like, I feel like a toddler that needs a nap so that I can get my brain right. It wasn't like anything too in particular, just, you know, as much as I say I like watching war movies and stuff, it's disgusting. Like, I think war is so just barbaric, and it's I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. Basically, I was watching it and I just thought, like, you know, we know so much about World War II, and part of that is that technology was different for World War II than World War One. World War One is a lot more sort of remakes and people telling stories of what happened, whereas World War II, I think, is a bit more confronting because you could record what was happening. It wasn't just like a photo here and there. I think that's the main reason why it's so different. Also, obviously, completely different wars. When I was watching All Quiet on the Western Front, I just thought, like, you know, obviously I know about World War II, but I don't know a lot about World War One and like why it started and sort of what the point was. Like, what were these people trying to achieve? Why were they at war? So I went on YouTube and I watched some crash course videos because I've also been really enjoying videos by John and Hank Green lately. Sometimes when you're surrounded and bombarded by so much stupidity, you just like need to pay attention to science, I think, is just how I work. And so I was just watching a couple videos that they had on like world history, and then I was like, great, I could really go to bed now. And I think I went to bed at like 2 a.m, so I woke up quite late, and just like that, my sleep schedule is completely back to front. I have been enjoying a really cozy game, Cozy Caravan. It is new. I think I've spoken about it on a stream lately. I would just highly recommend it, especially if you're sick of like farming games. There is a farming element, but you're not a farmer. You just like collect other people's farm things and then you sell it at markets. Like, you use it for cooking. And I don't know, it's just really cute. But I will say I prefer playing it on my computer than on my Switch, just because the graphics and the quality of it. It's got all these accessibility options and it's incredibly wholesome, and I have almost finished the game. There's one thing I have left to do and I'm just putting it off because I don't want the game to be done. But some people can finish it really quickly, but I dragged it out because I wanted to actually enjoy the process. I also wanted to get all of the achievements before actually finishing like the final big thing in the game. I have finished all the achievements because I'm insane, and I've actually done more than that because there's certain things that aren't achievements that I made my own goals. Like, I wanted to get every single recipe and every outfit and also make at least one of each. Yeah, that was a lot. That took me a long time. It was just like a really nice way to take a break sort of over that holiday period during like December and January. I just felt like I needed a break from business stuff and life and just needed to have a nice time, and it was perfect for that. And now I just need to do like the big whiz bang fair, and then the game will be finished, and I think I put in about 100 hours or more. And then I think once I finish it, I'm just going to start a new save and play as a different animal. In the game you can change what animal you are, but I was like, continuity reasons, I chose to be about, and then I like did the most and decided I would only eat things that like a fruit bat would eat, and so I would only eat fruits and I would avoid the dairy products and the meat products. It's a lot of fun. If you feel like the world's just a bit heavy, that's a nice little game, and there's no fighting, there's no money, it's just wonderful. And the music is really nice, and like the art style is adorable. If my computer wasn't such a piece of shit right now, I would totally film a let's play and upload that, but just like the frames drop like crazy when I've tried to do that. So even if I'm not streaming it, if I'm just recording it, it just looks like crap. So I tried it and thought, never mind. One other thing on my agenda for today is to remember I've got some emails I need to send about bills and stuff, just because all of them are hitting at the same time. I just feel a lot like that cat that's like grabbing its head and screaming. Yeah, I just need to be like, hey, maybe not this week, maybe next week, maybe 2 weeks from now, maybe next month, you know, maybe never. That's just something I have to deal with today because I have a $300 power bill due tomorrow, and for some people they're like, oh my god, that's so cheap. I'm one person. I'm one person, and I'm used to my power bills being $250, so it's quite a jump. I wasn't expecting it. I thought that I had like a credit on my account so that I wouldn't have like a power bill at all. So dealing with that, I feel like the second the year of the fire horse started, I just like pulled my head out of the sand. You know how before I was going on about like I just needed a break, I needed to relax. I you know, did that a little bit too much. And then the second it got to like February 17th, I was just like, all right, let's get some things done. Let's do some things that I've been putting off. I sent so many emails and fixed so many things that I've been putting off doing that it's kind of incredible. Here's our progress on the beanie. I don't know how I feel about it. I think I'm gonna have to wait until it's done to decide if it's giving the vibe that I wanted it to give off. I almost thought about going for like a darker brown cream colour, but then I was worried it would be too Shrek-like. There is also one other beanie colour combination I want to do, and that is this. This is the darker brown and white. I don't know, I just think this kind of gives off like coffee vibes. It reminds me of a bakery, and so I think that would just be kind of nice. After I finished those three, this one, and the yellow and orange, I've kind of run out of yarn to make all the colour combinations that I want to make. And so I'll leave beanies for a while until I get more yarn. At the moment, I have put myself on a bit of a yarn ban. I'm trying to use up all of the yarn that just sits there that I never touch, because I love using up the Zaddy Crafts yarn. I'm getting to the point where I've run out of quite a few of the colours, but I can't just keep only using that and restocking it all the time, because I've got all of this yarn that I just need to get rid of first. I'm just trying to chip away at it, you know, get rid of some of the stuff that I just don't like using anymore for whatever reason, whether it's the colours or the textures or, I don't know. The crochet people will understand what I'm getting at, but I am going to chuck away at some things and I'll check back in about an hour, maybe. We'll see. I am going to watch some YouTube for a while, don't know what I'll watch yet. I've really been wanting to watch some drag race, but I don't have Stan at the moment. And I'm already paying for KO to watch Formula 1, and usually I just try and have one streaming service at a time. For Netflix, I've been using my sister's account. Somehow still getting away with that. I'm not going to pay for Stan unless they give me an offer of like, you know, pay $1 for a month, like they sometimes do. They come into my emails and they beg me. And then I go, cool. Yeah, love that, I'll do that. And so instead of paying for it, I'm just like re-watching old lip syncs and compilations and stuff on YouTube, or just like straight up podcasts, like the Bold and the Beautiful Trixie and Katya podcast. Also does like really any of Trixie's videos on her YouTube, because she just does so many. Actually, speaking of, it's so unrelated, but in my brain it's connected. I watched the Being Gordon Ramsay documentary on Netflix because I love Gordon Ramsay personally, and it was amazing. I wasn't expecting to cry so many times, but like, fabulous documentary, totally would recommend it. Okay, bye. This is what I mean by my computer just like craps the bed. Like, why? It's giving virus, but I don't have any viruses. I think my graphics card is just dead. Oh well. Okay, it's 4:30, here's an update. I didn't get very far, but that's because I was uploading some listings to my Etsy, so I've got a couple more plushies up on there. I really want to get to 30 listings if I can, just because I feel like the more listings I have, the better it is for like the algorithm. Luckily I didn't take the photos today for the listings. I actually did that yesterday or the day before. I've been putting off doing it forever. I've basically learned my lesson several times now where if I don't want to do something, I just need to not beat myself up about it, because one day I'm just gonna wake up and be like, yeah, I can do that today, and like I just suddenly have motivation for it and then I get it all done in one sitting. So it's not really something I can control. Also, I just want to point out, please don't look at my nails. I'm aware that I have ripped my cuticles to shreds. It happens when I get anxious, and things have been happening lately. I've sort of got my little box of fidget toys next to me to try and stop that. However, I keep forgetting about them because they're not directly in front of me. That's why I'm looking forward to doing the polymer clay thing with my mum, because I think I'm going to make like some worry stones. I have this stone, I think it's obsidian or onyx or something. If you remember, about a year ago, my sister gave me all of her crystals from when she owned a crystal shop. There's a couple that are like, it's not deliberately shaped like a worry stone, it just happens to be in that shape naturally. And so I've been using this as a worry stone, but because it's like an actual stone, there's something in the texture of it that's just got too much, like, I don't know how to describe it. So I feel like if I do polymer clay, I wouldn't glaze it or use resin or anything, just because I don't want it to have that feel to it. I think it would feel better if it was a bit less like glossy feeling. I'm going to try and make some of those, and for the designs, at the beginning of the vlog when I had like my frog mug, I'm really inspired by that type of like cute style, and I'm wondering like how I can implement that into like a little stone like this. Like not straight up copying, but it has inspired me, and I just think like rather than just having like a normal little rock, I could turn it into like a sensory art piece mix. I don't know. Also, my camera's dying because I realized before when I turn it off, I have to set it up and zoom it in and change the angles and stuff. Whereas if I just leave it on, but I'm not recording, it'll stay in the right place. But it does kill the battery a lot. I am going to actually stop now and eat some lunch, very late lunch, because I see that there is a Hot Ones versus with the K-pop Demon Hunters, the actors and the singers. By the way, didn't realize there was a difference. I thought it was 3 people and they all did the acting and the singing, so this is news to me. Whenever I like watch a Hot Ones video, I just get in the mood for really spicy noodles, so I'm gonna have some really spicy noodles for lunch. I'll chill out after, I'll keep getting some work done, and I will check back in probably a bit later tonight. You're never gonna believe it. Several hours have passed and I have not done anything. I'm not quite sure what happened. Time has just gone. I just like watched it go. Can't tell you anything I've done in the last several hours. It's now 9 o'clock at night. The planes are still flying, which is crazy. I am now going to make dinner because I have my noodles. I think I watched some YouTube, maybe scrolled on social media and got stuck there. Actually, I think I uploaded even more things on my Etsy, so that's probably what took up some time. Usually when I have a mind blank like this, it means I've been on social media and then, you know, my memory is broken because it's just taken in so much information. I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna make some nuggets for dinner, and then I think I'm just gonna watch some TV.
That was on the TV.
That's the TV.
And continue working on the beanies. I don't know where I last updated. It probably was very similar looking as to what it is now. I suppose the afternoon is just going that way and I will try again tomorrow. I've been very into the belief of humans are really only productive for like 3 to 4 hours in like one day. I'm just happy that I got some stuff listed on my shop. I am now at 29 listings. Yeah, maybe that's just all I have for today. Now I'm just gonna chill out, wind down, and then tomorrow I can attack it all over again. I pretty much set out to do everything that I had on my to-do list, except for send that email. I still haven't done that. I should probably do that before I get in trouble. But like other than that, I'm pretty sure I've done everything. I spent over an hour on listings and stuff like that, which was what I wanted to do. And then I think I had plans to do like 4 hours worth of crocheting, and I'm just gonna do it now because I think I've probably already done an hour. I'll just spend the next 3 hours crocheting, and then at midnight I'll just go to bed. Sounds like a pretty awesome night. to me. Thank you for hanging out. Please remember to like the video and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. I will see you next time, hopefully more regularly from here on out. I know I say that all the time, but I mean it for realsies. Okay, bye.